I'm Brad Heath, and welcome to our Ride Along series. I'm super excited. We decided to go visit some of our customers and just ask questions of, hey, why did you order a trailer from us? How long have you been in horses? And really just to get into the life of horse owners and share that with you guys. So come on, enjoy the ride. We look forward to it. Let's see if this will get us on there. There we go.
Perfect.
Lazy Lady Jack here.
I'm never crazy.
And if you hold the button on this thing too long, it trips the fuse. All right. What's that? There we go. Do you have a special way you like to hook these? Although it doesn't matter.
I just do it like
Yeah.
front, like front.
I'll get in there. We were talking about tow vehicles a while ago, and one of the things I wanted to point out is this hitch has a tongue weight scale, and you can see it's about 1,000-pound tongue weight. And this is a 17-foot 2-horse reverse. Weight of the trailer is about 5,100 pounds, and the tongue weight changes very little when you put the horse in. So one of the biggest problems we have with customers on tow vehicles, he'll say, "Oh, my truck or my Tahoe in particular, it can pull 8,000 pounds, right?" So you look at the trailer weighs 51. I put one horse in it, so I got 6,000 pounds worth of weight, and my vehicle will tow 8, so I'm good. No, they never tell you about the tongue weight on the vehicles. That's always in the fine print. Now, Tahoe, for example, has an 800-pound tongue weight rating, and you can see this one weighs 1,000 pounds. So we are very adamant about recommendations on, we don't recommend specific tow vehicles, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, whatever you want to buy, but we do look at specs, what the vehicle is capable of towing, that's what it can pull, and then also what the vehicle can carry, and that's what it can lift on the back end. So always keep that in mind when shopping. Yeah, we're ready to get rolling and load Mr. Kieran.
Okay, I'm so excited. So these latches I actually really love. I use two hands, because my hands are kind of small, but they're actually just a one-hand latch, which is really nice. Also, these hinges on the side are pretty amazing because all you have to do is bring this over, push this back, and it latches. So today's a windy day, so it doesn't move at all, which is super, super nice.
Those will break.
They will?
They're not well. The biggest problem we have with them is people will forget they're latched.
Oh.
And they'll just grab the door and yank it, and you've got so much leverage out here with this latch way back, and it'll just pop it. Or it may crack it one time, and the next time you use it, it pops off. So just be careful.
Will do.
Yeah.
But I love those latches. And this is super easy too.
They're inexpensive to change, so and they're readily available. It's nothing that you even have to come back to us for.
Cool. So I do take this off because I load him from the side so that he can travel reverse. So I always usually take that off. But then when another horse comes in, for the second horse, obviously I just have somebody holding it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like to take it off altogether while loading?
Yeah, because it kind of scares Kieran.
Really?
Thanks. Yeah.
I used to use a chain with a pad on it.
Yeah.
And what I liked about the chain is you could just unclip and hang.
Yeah.
But the downside of the chain is it will move when you back into it. So I don't know. I'm mixed as to which is more user friendly or best for the horse, the bar or the chain.
On the review that you guys send out after purchasing the trailer, you guys ask if there's anything that you guys could do better, and I really couldn't find really much of anything. But if I was being picky, that really is the only thing that I could find. And it was pretty amazing. It's like the same day that I submitted that questionnaire, Caleb emailed me and he was like, "Hey Keeley, I saw that you mentioned about the butt bar. What exactly are you talking about? Like which area?" And I mean, it was amazing. And so he did offer another, like an alternative.
Right.
He was like, and then I even said, like, I don't even think you could even do it any differently besides getting a chain.
Yeah. It's either butt bar, butt chain. I
Yep.
don't know
Yeah,
about
exactly.
different
So
method
that
there.
was pretty impressive that you got back to me so
Some
fast.
things I just call nature of the beast.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, it's kind of like the double swinging partition. You know, you have to lift up on it
Yeah.
to latch and unlatch, but the reason for it is it has to hinge on both ends.
Well, and I kind of like that too because I like being able to take the whole thing out.
Right.
So I love that it can latch and unlatch. Obviously, it has to be able to use it both ways.
Right.
But anyway, yeah.
Do you take it out by yourself?
Yeah, I've done that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I always have somebody like latching it because Kieran gets really anxious when he's in here.
You lift the whole thing out by yourself?
Oh, not by my.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I tried.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
It's a little heavy.
If you took the bottom panel off first.
Yeah, the stud.
And then
Yeah.
you could probably carry.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but even this is kind of heavy.
It is.
Yeah. I did try that too. Yeah. So when I put him on reverse, it's super easy. All you have to do is like bring this up, take this little guy out, and then you might want to come back here because I'm gonna just swing it. And these little cute things, you just go right here and it stays.
Yeah. I've had folks who are like, you use a bungee cord.
I know.
And we used to use like a male-female rubber stopper. But the problem is you can imagine a 3 or a 4 horse in these, and as you stack the dividers around, the padding is so thick.
Yeah.
And I just found that this was
it's super
simple.
Great. It is
safe,
and it's
durable.
Easy.
I mean,
and it's really easy to do. That. So you just go like that.
Do you open back doors?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Just so he can see everything.
That's right.
Yeah. And then I also open the vents too, but I'm not tall enough. I don't have my little thing.
I can pop the vents for you.
Thanks. And I will say too, the fact that this is a lower ramp, it's latched down. What is it called?
We just mounted it a little bit lower than the floor.
Yeah.
Keeps the pivot.
Lower
pivot incline.
Yeah, low pivot point on the ramp is actually really awesome because one, it's not as steep, and then two, I think it makes it a lot more lightweight. I can like pull it up and
not too bad.
Yeah, it's really easy. So again, these latches.
Can you open this one first?
Oh yeah. Do you want me to redo that?
No, you're good. You're great. Wow.
And then I took your advice too on the WD-40.
Yeah.
I tried the grease gun first. It got
on this latch?
Like all the things.
Right.
And it got too
messy. Yeah.
So I cleaned that and I put WD-40 and it really does help, especially with this latch.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. And then I leave this all open for him. And what he does, like he comes through here and then he's like, okay, where are we going?
Right.
And then he's like, wait, I don't want to go.
You want me to stand here?
Yeah. And then I usually open those vents too, which I usually have my step stool, but. There's that. Yeah. So, I love this area. One, because I didn't think I would want to put this so far down right there, like on the lowest one, but actually it's so much easier because it's a little higher. So I like how they can just come right out. Here, I'll move this. They can come right out and then you can, and then it offers a lot more space. Yeah, I love this area. And then there's a cute little light in here. And then not only is that light there, but I also really love this light too. Obviously it's daytime, so it's not as intense. It's that one. and then the load light too. And I also always put on the fans. These little buttons right here allow me to turn on the lights and then also the fans. Good boy. Good boy. Yep, perfect. Good boy. Yep, awesome. Good boy, buddy. Yeah. Usually that would have taken like an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. And then like lots of beating and not really beating, but encouragement.
Forceful encouragement.
And so when he's traveling by like with another horse, obviously it would be both with the stud gate up, so that no other horse could kick him. But then I also like to take out the whole partition. Easy. Ooh.
There we go.
And that's why the divider in the back is spring loaded.
Yeah, did you notice on the divider, as I'm smacking a protein bar, one of the reasons I like having the extra partition, so a lot of 2-horse trailers only have one divider. And you saw this guy he's ready to come out of there. So the handler, you as a handler, you have something in between you and the horse so that he'll stay inside until you're ready for him to come out. And then once you pop that, it is spring loaded, so it goes around by itself and stays against the wall. And of course for latching, same thing, just a nice spring latch.
Yeah, so this is your corner water tank, and Keeley actually got the exterior water spigot. So we have this hose attachment, then you have the water spigot on the outside, and that's gravity fed. So you just fill the tank. It's a 25-gallon tank, so that you can fill buckets and just have it if you need to for your horse.
Hi.
All right, good morning there, everyone.
Good
So
morning.
we're in Culpeper, Virginia today, and we're visiting with Miss Keeley Jones and Miss Meredith. Meredith is the business owner of, what's the name of your business?
Touchpoint Farm.
Touchpoint Farm. So we decided to just tell us a little bit about your business.
Oh, sure. We've been here since 1999, and we're a boarding facility that offers riding lessons and also summer camps.
Okay. How many folks do you board here? How many horses?
Oh, goodness. We have about 40 horses here, and probably about half are, well, a little bit more than half are boarders, and the rest are school horse lesson horses.
Wow.
Owned by the business.
40 horses for how many clients? That's still a lot of clients.
Yeah.
20, 30 folks.
Well, yeah, probably about, yeah.
You do any
18, 20
you do special events?
boarders.
I see that you have jumping.
We have done horse shows in the past. We've put on both hunter shows and also some combined tests.
Right.
Currently, I don't have any planned for this year. We just do some fun shows for the kids at the barn.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been a blast doing shows and boarding all these years. It's been about 25 years that we've been here.
What's your average day look like?
Well, I start with chores around 7, and then I usually do some training on some horses, and then in the afternoon after school we start to have kids come in for lessons, and we usually finish up around 8 p.m. I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
long days. And what's your acreage here?
We have about 90 acres.
Okay. Yeah, this is beautiful. We can't see it on camera. We'll get a drone view before we leave, but yeah, it's a beautiful property. Thanks for letting us come out and film
absolutely.
and hang out a little bit. Ms. Keeley, you want to hop on in?
Sure.
Are you looking, you wanting to grow your business, or folks invited to, you want to?
Oh, certainly we're still offer boarding and lessons, and I have
capacity?
camp coming up, but
Right.
we do have some capacity to take on some new boarders and some new students.
Right. And I think I saw a riding ring or arena, covered arena.
We have a covered arena down there.
It was really nice.
And we have our upper ring is here, and then we ride out in the field, and we have some access to trails as well.
Heck yeah.
And we're real close to all types of showing and schooling facilities here in Virginia, because we're right in the middle of horse country.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again.
Yeah.
Pleasure meeting you.
It's nice meeting you too.
And once again, that is Touch Point Farm.
Yep.
Miss Meredith just had a conversation with the barn owner or property manager, business owner, Meredith. And Miss Keeley Jones is our client. She's ordered a new trailer from us from us and
Yes.
just allowed us to come up and hang out and ask questions and have some fun today. So
Yeah, thanks for being here. I'm excited. I love everything you guys do with the trailers. I love all the information. I'm starting just a little bit without questions. Sorry.
no, you're good. You're good.
I love all the information you guys have online. It was super easy. Even if I wasn't planning on getting a double D trailer, it was actually really nice that you guys offer just blatant information just about safety and trailering and all of that. So that was just super helpful. So I'm really happy you're here.
We have so much information on our website.
Yeah.
Like I think it's 400, 500 pages of content.
Yeah.
Yeah, very in-depth articles.
Definitely went through like all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Videos
Yeah,
and more
yeah.
videos and
The videos are great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they were still really helpful. It was, so thank you for doing that.
Let's see, Brooke was kind enough to put together some cool questions for us, so I'll just pull those out and kind of get things rolling here. So introduce yourself. Tell us, how long have you been working here? I know on our ride up, mom is here, dad is here.
Yeah, so I've been living here in the area for my whole life, so 29 years.
Born and raised.
Born and raised,
yeah.
Yes, sir. So I've only lived in Virginia. I actually rode here at Touch Point Farm when I was 7, and my grandparents have a farm just around the corner, and my grandpa would actually bring me every day for a couple of weeks out of the summer. To come to this farm. And so I started at 7. I did that for like 5 years, and then I made my way back with my own horse back to the farm. So it was a really, really cool full circle moment to come back to this farm. But yeah, so I'm an ER nurse, and I also manage a medical spa.
Heck yeah. How long have you owned horses?
I've just owned this horse, Kieran, for 7 years.
This your first?
He's my first.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
First for everything.
So growing up on the farm, mom and dad, you didn't have horses.
Yeah. No.
And what got you into it?
So my grandpa, he had horses, and I didn't live on his farm. I lived about 30 minutes away. But he had horses, and he would teach me Western. And then we knew that Meredith had a farm here, and so I started to take lessons here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Do you do, are you only an eventer? Do you trail ride? Do you compete?
No, we do it all. Yeah. So we just started eventing last year, and that's super fun. And we did jumpers. We haven't done hunters really. My horse has when he was a lesson horse before I had him. And so yeah, we love trail riding. We do everything we can get our hands on.
Yeah.
Yep.
What sort of distance do you travel to shows or rides?
Yeah, so we just recently traveled to Fauquier for a trial.
That's where we flew into, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then we also go to Richmond, which is about an hour and a half away.
We were having a lot of fun trying to figure out how to pronounce that, so we'll just leave.
Warrenton? Fauquier?
Yeah. 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 It's like Fauquier, and does it have an A on the end? I can't remember.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's
great. Yeah. Whatever she said sounded fantastic. It was much better than our attempts on the ride up here.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway.
We also went to Middleburg recently too. So. Anyway.
And how far away is Middleburg?
That's about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And this weekend we're going to a clinic in just past Middleburg, and that's about an hour and a half away.
Any fun stories you can think of, or?
Yes.
We're all ears.
One time, my horse and I, we were jumping a jumper course.
Right.
And we were going over a jump, and I jumped, but Kieran didn't. And I was like hanging on by the side of his neck, and everybody's like, "Get back up, get back up!"
Oh wow.
And so I tried to get back up, but I couldn't and finish the course. But yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I have a picture. I should have brought it. Yeah.
Did you fall? Did you get off?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying so hard, but my upper strength is not.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well,
yeah.
you know, as long as the story didn't involve injury and you can just laugh about
yeah,
it, that's always a good one. Let's see, another question that's pretty popular. What's a typical day look like for you? So you are boarding, right, with Meredith. Do they take care of feeding and grooming, cleaning? What do you have to do?
So they take care of feeding twice a day, in the morning and at night. And he has on stall board, so he gets brought in at night and gets turned out at during the day now. And I do the grooming. I pretty much they also blanket. But I groom him, get him ready to ride. If he has like any abscesses or anything like that in his feet, I help, but they also do a lot of veterinary care here, if it's necessary. But I do mostly grooming.
So you've had Kieran for 7 years. So he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Has he always hauled well? Is he a difficult hauler? Tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, so he actually has a bit of a history. So when I first, before I bought him, I leased him for 2 years. And while I was leasing him, he actually choked. And I was like right there. He was eating out in the field. And he started choking, and I'm an ER nurse, so I know what to do when people are choking, but I don't know what to do when a horse is. I know, I'm like, I can't really, and so something just told me to like massage his neck.
Right.
And I was massaging his neck, bringing him in. Anyway, long story short, the vet said it was the worst choke that she's ever seen. And so since then, he's been super anxious, just pretty much about everything.
Wow.
But then a year and a half later, he actually got EPM. So that kind of made it a lot worse, his anxiety.
And for folks that don't know, EPM?
It's a parasite that gets into his spinal cord, and it causes neurological symptoms.
Wow.
So similar to like when a human has a stroke, and they have neurological symptoms. The horse also kind of has similar symptoms like ataxia, so has trouble walking. Proprioception is off. So yeah, and before we tested him for EPM, he hung himself in the cross ties. So it freaked him out. So to this day, he can't go in the cross ties.
Wow.
And to bring it back to trailering, he would absolutely not go in the trailer at all. It was mainly straight loads, but even slant loads he didn't like, because he didn't like being enclosed.
Right.
And it would take us like 30 minutes, maybe even more, 45 minutes to sometimes an hour to load him. It was horrible. And I didn't want to have to like beat him into the trailer.
Right. Get in there.
Yeah. But at some point you kind of didn't know what to do. Like I was late for a lot of my shows because of it. I made my friend late because of it. It was really bad. So yeah. But now since we have the reverse slant, he literally goes on the first try. It's insane. No, like it's insane. I cried the first time.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Because it was really awful. Like, I mean, I hated taking him anywhere because he just wouldn't get on. And when he got on the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he got on the trailer. And he still gets anxious just standing on it. But the fact that he can just get right in is pretty amazing.
What do you think was the difference? Why?
I think that the open.
Do you load him through this? There's a side ramp on the other side. So
Yeah.
this is a bumper pull, two horse, reverse load. So you can haul forward facing, which means your horse can face the direction of travel, or reverse facing, and you've got drop down windows on both sides.
Yeah.
So do you reverse?
I do.
do you bring him in through the side
I
ramp?
do,
Okay.
yeah. So he, when we were trailering one time, he loves the stock trailer. Meredith has a stock
Mm-hmm.
trailer that she uses. He loves that because it's so open,
Open,
right?
right.
So, I did try. I loaded him all different ways. When I first got the trailer, just to see. So he did load forward facing.
Mhm.
He didn't like it though. So I loaded him from the back, but the back is amazing because it's so open. And he didn't feel like he was too enclosed. So I think that's why he loaded. But then when he comes through the side, that's usually how I do it. So he's reverse. Because when he's in the stock trailer, he actually turns himself around. So because he's reverse.
Right.
And I saw that on your clinical studies and all of that. Because
Yeah.
you said it's safer. The horse wants to do it naturally. So that kind of sold me on the trailer. But anyway, so yeah, I load him through the side, and then he's reverse. And then when I travel with him by himself, which never could happen before, I take the stud gate out,
Okay.
the partition, and I use it as a stock trailer.
So just give him the
Yeah.
2 stalls,
Yep.
open space.
And he really likes that.
I've had a lot of folks ask over the years, what's a reverse load? Why do horses like it better? And of course, I always give some smart but response that says, well, I really don't know because I've never asked a horse. But, if you put them in a stock trailer, give them the choice, haul untethered,
Yep.
they'll generally turn backwards at an angle.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I mean, I think it's, horses, they'll turn their hind end toward danger.
Right.
They kind of sense the danger is in
Yeah.
front of them, so it just makes them feel better.
Well, and when they're trying to stabilize themselves, like I have the ranch cam that you
Mm-hmm.
guys do, and I watch him, and he stabilizes himself, and when it is the stock trailer, he always does reverse, and
Right.
obviously his hind end, he has more muscles back there, so it just makes sense.
Right.
So I'm just so thankful you guys made this trailer because it is so phenomenal.
Good.
Especially for him. I didn't want to ever take him anywhere. And so now we go everywhere.
You recommend the camera? Is that
Yeah, I love the camera.
right?
So it's inside here. So I can see him. I can see both horses. So if I have 2 horses in, I can actually see both of them. And then there's another camera in the back, which I didn't realize was going to be so helpful, but it really is with trailering. Knowing when I can get over in the next lane, I just look in the behind camera.
Oh, see who's behind.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially with a wider
Right.
version, because you got a 90 wide,
Yes.
which is why. So a normal 80 wide, all of the fender would be on the outside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're talking 80, that's just 80 inches, the width of the box. But when you went with the 90, so you got a little bit of fender well on both sides, but it just gives more nose to butt length.
Yep. And I went with the it fits a 17 hand, warm blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that mainly because Kieran does like space. He doesn't like feeling enclosed. But I will say too, the vents on the top of the trailer are amazing.
Really? The pop-ups?
Yes. Yeah, because you can like I actually emailed Kalib and I was like, these vents are awesome. Like,
Right.
because I didn't realize it went up, like it went through,
Yeah.
and then you could also do it the other way.
You
to
literally
help.
pop them, just
Yeah.
just hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
use a
it's-
rubber mallet.
Yeah, and then I also have the fans inside too, to help with airflow because he gets sweat. He sweats a lot because he gets really anxious.
Right.
But not only that, the vents and the fans are amazing, but also the windows are really, really cool. So I have never seen windows like this. So the mid latch makes it easy for me to come down, but instead of having it on the top.
Sure.
So, but also, can I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll jump up.
Yeah. So it can like come open here, and then so you have about half of the window to use if you want to keep the window up. There's a mesh back here, but you can also pull it down, and then you have the bars here. But then not only that, the bars come down, and then you have the mesh here, and that is how we usually travel. It's a lifesaver because of so much ventilation. And he really, really likes that.
I wish our window manufacturer had a slick mesh inside because we have to buy these as an aftermarket.
Right.
And they just come in the one size, so we have to crimp them to make it fit. But you can, let's see, this window, like you were saying, so you can slide it too if you just wanted to leave the window up, and you've you got the screen
Yeah,
there.
and I love the windows. I mean, I love everything about the trailer, but the windows are amazing. And then I was also worried about the vibration
Right.
when we tow and the noise. Like trailers are usually really really noisy, and it makes him freak out even more. But the rumber flooring is phenomenal.
Right. It helps.
It's really easy to clean because I'm pretty lazy and I don't like the mats. So you don't even need the mats. With the rumber flooring, and it really does help with the vibration. I remember I saw on your website, you were like, well, maybe you should, like, the person rides in the trailer just so they can see
Hmm.
how it feels. And I actually did that twice in my friend's trailer, and then I also did it in this just to see.
Right.
It was pretty amazing.
You could tell the
I could tell a
difference.
huge
Wow.
difference with the vibration.
The
Yeah.
your friend's trailer, do you know what type of floor it had? Is it aluminum floor or wood
Aluminum
floor?
floor.
Okay.
Yeah, with mats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say rumber is the lazy man's floor
Yeah.
because you don't have to drag the mats out and hose it and put them back
Yeah.
in. Have you had any trouble with slippage on rumber?
No, because I use flakes. So if he urinates, I just put I mean, that's what the flakes are for, to soak it up.
Hmm.
But he hasn't slipped at all, and I don't slip either.
Does he have shoes?
He has shoes. Yeah.
Travel with boots?
No, I don't travel with
Okay.
shoes. Yeah.
Yeah, I asked because, we have we've done some surveys, Caleb. Rumber has had a bad rap of horses slipping on the rumber floor.
I saw some of those comments.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And, we surveyed maybe, I don't know, 50 or 100 folks. And I think roughly 70% are like, yeah, we love it. It works great. And then you got 30, 35%. It's like, yeah, my horse just slips down. They can't stand up on the rumber.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it's a difference in driving style or I'm really not sure.
Yeah.
But
Also, probably using flakes helps.
yeah.
Yeah. Because yeah, if they urinate, yeah, I can imagine it can be slippery.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you just put the flakes down, it should be fine.
You were talking about the vibration and the camera. So
Mm-hmm.
we're working with a company right now, App Crafters, to design a monitoring
I
system
know,
for
I
us.
saw.
Yep. It'll be
Yeah.
launched as TROT,
Yes.
Trott, and there's some cool acronym, whatever that means. I don't know, but it'll have the cameras. It'll have vibration monitor.
And a thermographer, right? Thermography.
You'll be able to
Yeah.
see thermal imaging
Mhm.
of the horse.
Yeah.
So that way you can sense, tell if they're stressed or they're not stressed.
Yeah.
We're measuring wind velocity inside, tire
Wow.
pressure, and it'll all go to, we're just doing it on an iPad. So
Oh
it
my
just syncs
gosh.
directly. So super, you can turn your fans off and on.
I
Like
s-
you can set you can set the switch to say, hey, if it gets to 85 degrees, I want the fans to kick on. You just put it on the
That is
software.
really cool. I know I saw, and I was like, "Hey, is it too late for me to switch?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, those aren't out yet." I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Dang it."
It's a tall order, but
Yeah,
I mean,
it's worth it, I think.
we're close. We're
Yeah.
close. So I'm pretty excited over
Yeah,
that.
that sounds cool.
So the buying process, we'll talk about that a little bit.
Mhm.
How did you find us? I mean, we're just
Yeah.
sitting in North Carolina, in our office. How did you stumble across us?
Well, I think because what you put out online for just safety measures, for just trailering, period, not even really talking about your own trailers all that
Right.
much, just safety, because I wanted the safest trailer for my horse. That's how I stumbled upon you, is because
Okay.
you had all the information just on safety for the trailering, what's good and what's bad, or like what to look out for, aluminum versus steel, and all of this. And so then I was like, let me see just their trailers, like, cause I really like this guy. He seems to know what he's talking about. And then I saw, and I was like, I don't know if I can afford that. And then I was looking at the other trailers, and I really didn't like their safety feature. Like, there was no safety features almost. It
Right.
was really awful. It's almost like better towards the person, the human, and not as good for the horse. And I really didn't like that. And so as I was thinking, and I talked to my husband about it, and I was like, I can't afford not to have this trailer.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, and so that's why I was like, okay, I got to get it. Let's just make it
That's a
happen.
good slogan. You can't afford not to have it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was like, do you have any I was emailing with Caleb, and I was like, I can't afford this trailer new. Do you have any used? And he's like, no, people, like, we have some, like, there are some people selling
Right.
them. We don't have any used because people hold on to these trailers.
Yeah, they
I was
do
like,
tend to.
yeah, I can imagine.
So you read through the information, and you're like, hey, this sounds pretty good. Kind of, do you remember
Yeah.
what happened next?
Yeah, so I put in a like an inquiry
Uh-huh.
online on your
Right.
website, and then Caleb emailed me right away, like within 24 hours.
Yeah, we're pretty quick on
Yeah,
those.
really quick. And so then we kind of started. He asked a lot of questions about Kieran. My main concern was his stress level, his anxiety. That's why I wanted the trailer.
What
Um,
size is Kieran?
he is
Height and weight?
yeah, he's about almost 16 hands.
Okay.
And then he weighs, I thought he weighed about 1,500 pounds, but I was wrong. He actually is about 1,300.
Okay.
So yeah, and he is a thoroughbred, but he's a smaller thoroughbred. But well,
Have you hauled anything bigger? I got you
yes,
sidetracked. You've had what size horse have you hauled?
he was 17 hands.
Did he have enough room
Oakley.
to lower his head?
Yes,
Really?
and
Really?
I put Kieran in the front stall
Mhm.
because it was just better ventilation, always usually with the
Right.
front stall. But Oakley was totally fine. And he fit perfectly, and
Yeah.
even in the back stall. And usually the back stalls, as you know,
Mhm.
are a little bit smaller, and it is a little bit narrower. But he was totally fine.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think that's slant loads earned a bad rap years
yeah,
ago. We hear clients, they'll come to us and like, yeah, my horse won't fit in a slant load. And they've got a 17.2 warm blood, what
yeah,
have you. But the problem is not because it's at a slant. It's just that whoever who built the trailer didn't make it big enough.
right.
So
Yeah,
you just make it
yeah,
bigger,
right.
problem solved.
And it's actually this trailer is a little bit bigger than the straight load trailer that my friend has.
Okay.
So like the stalls themselves.
Right.
Yeah, so I would always go with a slant load just because of the safety.
Sorry to get you
Um,
sidetracked. So Caleb reached out to you. He responded back.
Yes. And then we started kind of brainstorming, creating I was kind of customizing it online.
Mhm.
And I had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I want this, and this, and this, all the different customizations.
Right.
And then he kind of brought me back down and he was like, okay, but actually, he was super frank about stuff and was so honest. And I really appreciated that because he was like, I don't think you need this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you need that. And I'm like, okay, fine.
I don't want it.
I know. And so, but then my husband was like, yeah, we're not getting that.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
my big things were definitely the reverse slant. So we did that. The water spigot, I'm
Mhm.
really proud of. I love the water spigot.
Yeah.
And you don't like,
Is this one a pump? Does it have a pump or
no,
is it gravity?
yeah, gravity.
Okay. And it
It's,
works fine.
I love it. Yeah, it's so fun to use.
Right.
I'm like, guys, look at my water spigot. And they're like, that is really cool. And so I'm really proud of the water spigot. So I am happy about that. I'm happy about everything. The high tie system we also got. Kieran doesn't love it yet, but it is a really cool thing to use for other horses that
The high tie.
yeah, that aren't as anxious. It's going to take a while probably for him to want to use it, but I really like that system.
Yeah.
But yeah, creating the trailer was pretty easy. And then I had a Zoom call with Caleb. We kind of talked about everything. He told me what I needed, what he thinks I should have, and all of that. And it was really easy. And I saw that you guys said to not buy your truck until you buy the trailer.
Yes.
And so that's exactly what we did. We bought the trailer first, and then we fit the trailer to the truck.
Mhm.
And so yeah, it was a really easy process. And he answered every question. I think I had like 20 questions like it during the whole process,
Yeah.
and he got back to me so fast.
How,
It
how
was amazing.
long? How long did you look for the buying
Yeah,
process?
I
And
was
what else did you look at? Did you look at a lot of different brands?
yeah. So I looked for probably 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was not a wake up,
Mm-mm.
buy a trailer decision,
Yeah, I know.
right?
It's my first trailer, and so I wanted to do it right because
Sure.
I want it to last. I was looking at Lakotas, Exelis, the Shadows,
Mhm.
and pretty much all brands. I mean, I Googled like safest trailers.
Sure.
And I was looking at all of them, looking at the inside of all of them, and they just didn't come close to what you guys have. Like the technology, like the craftsmanship, they don't come close. So that's why I went with you guys.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Once you started with Caleb, do you know how long the design portion took? Was that pretty quick, couple weeks or months?
Oh, the design portion? I don't,
Once you made contact to the time you said, hey, I'm ready.
I mean, yeah, it was like a week. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple weeks maybe. Yeah.
We'll have some folks. I mean, Caleb's got one client. He's probably done 30 or 35 video calls, phone calls, and sometimes video as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we like the video because we try to record everything.
Yep.
And of course, with AI today, it'll type it all out,
Mhm.
so you have the written record.
Mhm.
And when you have a client that may shop for 2 months or 3 months or for 6 months,
Mhm.
and you talked about something in January, and then they're back in June,
Yeah.
and so it really helps us to just make sure that when our driver rolls up for the first time and you see your trailer,
Yeah.
that it has everything on it correctly as we
Yeah.
discussed. So we're pretty good at doing that, but you
Yeah.
really have to. We like to keep everything in writing just
Yep.
for that reason.
And that was good too, because I actually, even to this day, I still like go back to our emails, and I'm like, oh, okay, like what did he say about this? Because I never want to bother you guys, and I know you're always happy to help.
Yeah, you don't bother us.
But it is really helpful actually being in writing. And I saw like there were some comments saying like I don't like that we're just emailing. Like I would prefer to call or even talk in person. And I'm like, no, I actually really appreciate the emails.
Yeah.
Because you can go back and look what you said and all of that. During the truck process, I went back in our emails a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he helped me even with that. So.
I'm anti-phone call. I wish I
Yeah.
wasn't, but human nature, we forget.
Right.
50% of the conversation within an hour.
Yes.
And then the other 50%, you probably remember maybe a little
Right.
different than
Yeah,
what
that's
it
true.
is. So,
Yeah.
yeah, well, you said such and such, and like, no, we didn't say that. So, yeah, we like to keep it in writing.
Yeah, that's good.
You've not had this trailer very long, so probably no service issues. Has there been anything?
No, not yet.
Nothing broken.
Nothing broken. I will say, Kelly, the girl that delivered
Kelly was your driver at Fasco,
yes,
yeah. Isn't she cool?
is amazing.
Yeah.
And I was so worried about her.
We love you, Kelly.
Love you, Kelly. She was great, and she came like it was in December
Yeah.
that she was delivering the trailer from Wisconsin, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so I was so worried about her the whole time because she had like snow. Oh, she was great. And then it was that she went through everything with us. I asked her a lot of questions, and like I did ask like if the automatic jack if that went out, like how to use that, and she went through that with me. Like she was spectacular. So the customer service was pretty amazing from the time I talked to Caleb and created the trailer to when we received the trailer, and even after the trailer. I think I emailed Caleb a couple times asking random things, and he was still so helpful. It's just you guys have grown and have a great business, so I just thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we love Kelly. She's
awesome.
been with us for many years and all over the country.
Yeah.
I mean, from one side of the U.S. to the other side of the U.S.
Yeah, she's great.
In fact, she was in North Carolina last year, and we have a guest room, and she came over to our house, and we put her up in the guest room.
That's
and I cooked breakfast for her the next morning. So yeah, I'm gonna snap a picture of you.
Okay.
And there, we'll do a little selfie, and I'm gonna text it to Kelly, so she'll be thrilled. Yeah.
Yeah, I love her. She was really great. And then she even texted me after when she got home. She's like, "Hey Keeley, I just want to let you know I'm home." I was like, "I love that. Thank you so much."
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great.
So we've been talking about this guy Kalib quite a bit. Who is Kalib? Get over here.
You can have my chair.
Who is Kalib? No, you're good. Here, I'll let you pull this off so we can share it. Let me see here. I'll rip it. Yeah, so I have 5 girls and 1 son. Brooke is my oldest daughter. She's 28. And I remember I was sitting in the office some years ago. What year did you get married?
2017.
2017. And, I get a message from this guy, and he's like, "Yeah, it's a good time I can come and sit down and talk to you." And I'm thinking, oh, man, great.
Hopefully you liked him.
He's going to want to ask, can he marry her? That's exactly what he wants. And so he came in my office, and, and I'm like, what do you want? What do you want? I knew what he wanted. He was a little bit nervous, and he's like, I just want to ask your permission to marry your daughter. And I said, why would you want to do that? I mean, she's pretty ornery, right? Are you sure you want to do that? Because we have a strong no return policy. That's what I told her. Strong no return policy. But
That's
no,
funny.
Caleb is amazing. We love Caleb. Yeah,
We do.
he's a fantastic guy for sure. So you had fun working with him. No complaints with
Yeah,
him.
no, he was. I'm gonna stand up too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, he. I'm gonna move the K8. Yes, you were fantastic.
Thank
Every question I had, and I think I had the same question probably 5 times.
It's okay.
And yeah, you were so great. And even like I was telling Brad, the fact that you told me things I didn't need
Yeah.
made me trust you guys even more. And I saw on your website too that people were like, well, I don't want to buy a trailer I haven't seen. I didn't really have that issue.
Yeah.
I didn't like care that much just because I trusted you so much. Because you were so like forthcoming with all information. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
we've
I
had
really
that
appreciate
also. I just had another customer that said this pretty much the same thing. They're
Yeah.
like, you know, some people have reservations about doing it like sight unseen.
Right.
It's really not sight unseen though.
You have so many
Because
videos.
one, we send 60 pictures of the trailer once it's finished.
Yeah.
I mean, Amy's really good at that. Amy takes all the
Mhm.
pictures. So she opens every single divider and window, and we'll deliver sometime, and a client may say, well, this divider, it doesn't work well, or it's heavy or something. I said, you know, Amy's probably 115 pounds dripping wet, and she picked every one of them up. So, you know, I don't want to hear it muscle up a little bit, right? But yeah, we have a lot of fun. And then we have the Buyer Connect program too. I don't know if did you use that?
No, what is that?
With Buyer Connect, you can just pop in your zip code on a little form we've got.
Oh, I saw that.
And it'll bring up folks around you that have
Yeah.
purchased,
Mhm.
and so you can request to see one.
Yeah.
That's really popular. In fact, we may hit you up
Oh,
at
that
some
I'd be
point.
happy to. I
Yeah.
love this thing, so I love showing it off.
Yep. So
But
you can see one before you purchase.
I saw
You
that.
can see
Yes,
one.
I did. I saw that. But you guys have so many videos, and
Yeah.
like every question I asked you, and I just didn't have a problem with not actually physically seeing the trailer because everything's online anyway.
Yeah.
And so to me, it wasn't a problem.
Yeah, and that's how, like the Buyer Connect is the option to do that, to be able to see it in person.
Yeah,
But
that is
a lot
cool.
of folks just do it like you did,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And your experience was great,
It was
which is
great.
what we try for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for all your help.
You were talking about tow vehicle. I don't know that I've ever seen this, but your hitch has a scale
It does.
that measures the tongue weight,
Yes.
which I was super impressed with.
Yes,
So
because
maybe we'll get a
you
shot of that.
you've taught me a lot.
Right.
And so has Caleb. So I really want to make sure I'm doing everything right because this is the first anything that I've done
Yeah.
that I've had. So yeah, and I did a lot of research about those too. It's a way safe. Yeah, I really like it.
Caleb and I work very closely together. Every email that comes into him, it comes to me also. So I see everything, the drawings. So we team to review, make recommendations. We literally work about an arm's
Yeah.
length
So
apart, something like that.
so
Yeah.
this is our desk like this,
Yeah.
literally.
Which is annoying because I'll be doing something
You could like throw something
on
at
my
you.
screen, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What does it matter, man? Do your thing. Leave me alone." I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at Carolina basketball school.